brought to you by Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers and the Black Freedom Fund.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DePrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DePrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. The show is called First Things First. Hopefully it's one of your first things. My first thing every day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's go. It's a Think Tank Thursday. So we're going to be thinking about it. We're going to be ruminating. We're going to be figuring it out. What does it mean? And what should we be saying and doing about it? It's kind of the counterbalance to the Talking Point Tuesday. Talking Point Tuesday is where we debunk stuff and figure out why we're saying it. Where does it come from? How do we need to change it? The Think Tank Thursday is more proactive. What do we want? Focusing on what we want, not what we don't want. What is if you had a project, we'll call it Project 2028, because it's probably not going to be happening in 2025, although miracles happen all the time, but it is the 23rd day of October. So, if you had a Project 2028 or a Project 2026, what would that look like? What would be on it? What would your agenda entail? A black agenda, a progressive agenda, a woman's agenda of whatever you are, mixed of this, that, and the third, a human being agenda, a planetary, global to-do list. What would that look like? That's our Think Tank Thursday conversation. And the way it's breaking down today, it'll be me, you, and Miles this hour, looking at what's going on right here on the left coast. We typically look local. We're just days away, actually 1 day away, a day and a half away from the Left Coast Forum, which is going to be like Think Tank Saturday, Think Tank Thursday on steroids. Everybody is going to be there. A lot of progressives from the left coast will be there. Just networking, encouraging each other, hanging out, having some food, breaking bread, some music, and lots of plenaries, right, where we dive into various topics. My panel, I believe, is at 2:30, and it will be me and Dr. Nicolai Corte hosting the LGBTQ plus panel, and it will be a lively one. It'll be a spicy one. I think the title is From Pride to Protest, Has LGBTQ plus activism gone soft? That should be a robust conversation. We've got an incredible panel. And as far as our experts, and then, I think there's so much going on. I'll be watching, listening to a lot of the other panels, looking forward to hearing Dr. Cornel West. Tavis said to me yesterday, you've heard Dr. Cornel West speak about probably 100 times. I said, yeah, but you know what? I don't get tired of it. He's really brilliant. It reminds me of my dad, to be honest with you. You would go hear my father speak, the late Amiri Baraka, a.k.a. Leroy Jones, and he would be always on fire and always telling you something, an analysis or an insight about something that made you think. And wow, how did I miss that? I was always saying, how did I miss that? That seems so obvious now that he says it. Or I'd be going, I don't know about that. Well, let me look into it. And then there was the humor and the just inspiration. And that's one of the things I find with Dr. Cornel West when he speaks. You're laughing, but you're also going, yeah, he's got a point there, and emboldening and inspiring us. And Lord knows we could all use that right now. Hour 2 today, we're going to be kicking it with Sherry Bell, my regular contributor here on First Things First. She won't be coming on Friday, so we're talking today, and we get to focus on national issues, which is what I typically do in the second hour of the show. National headlines, hot topics, goings on, and it'll be fun to chop it up with Sherry because she always has a lot of passion and incredible insight. And then we'll be hearing from Crystal Hickman. She'll be joining me in the studio. I've never spoken with her. She is a National Geographic scientist. National Geographic explorer, community scientist, she calls herself, black woman at the top of her game, and she is an expert in bees. That may sound very oddly specific, but the thing about it is bees tell us so much about where we are with the climate emergency, with the changes, good and bad, to our environment, with the well-being of our habitat. So I'm actually really looking forward to learning a lot when we are joined by Crystal Hickman. We got a full day. If you want to call me, you know what to do. It's 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Now would be the perfect time because we are on our Think Tank Thursday Chop It Up energy. And you can also tap in on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you know that. It's KBLA 1580 at the youtube.com app thingy. And yeah, what you thinking about on this Think Tank Thursday? I am thinking about how to thrive in Trump's America. I'm thinking about all that is in front of us just in the next 6 months, right? Because we have an election, which is like the day after tomorrow. No, it's a couple weeks out. It's November 4th. Is that right? And it is going to be an important one, even though there's only one thing on the ballot. That is going to be here before we know it. I don't know why. Every day I come in here and I'm like, oh, why didn't I vote yet? I have my mail-in ballot. You have yours. Might as well get it done. No, it's the 4th of November, not the 6th. I don't know why I keep thinking the 6th. It's the 4th, but voting has already started, right? And so we've got that. And from what I'm seeing in the polling around Prop 50, we have got to talk to people because people don't understand it. And the no side, which is in this case pretty much just California Republicans and their allies, red states across the country, are pouring a ton of money into this. They don't have power in the state legislature because California is a blue state, even though I always say it's bipolar, and it is, because if you go into Fresno, Bakersfield, the Kern County area, the middle of the state, it's very red. If you go to Orange County, it's kind of purple. But where the people are, the population centers of the state, where more humans that qualify to vote actually dwell, which is the coastal regions, the cities, specifically San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Jose. We are Santa Monica. We are progressive for the most part, liberal to progressive. And so it's still a blue state. That's where all the numbers are, right? But a lot of people, even progressive, don't get it. And those Republicans, because they're so outnumbered in the state, they're outnumbered in humans, but they're not outnumbered in dollars. So they're pouring money into this, and a lot of people don't get it. So if you do get it, tell a friend. If you don't, call me, 800-920-1580, and let's talk about it. Let's hash it out. Let's slug it out, thug it out. We got to understand this. I have been on this microphone long enough to watch cycles like this before, right? And I'm thinking about of the three strikes law. I'm thinking about the affirmative action of Prop 209, things that were on the ballot that people really in our community really didn't have their minds fully around. We don't even have to go that far back. We go to Prop 16, which was meant to bring back affirmative action, and it failed. And a lot of people didn't even understand what it was, right? You go to whatever, I think it was 6, was AB 6, which was last year, was meant to eliminate forced labor in prison, i.e. slavery. It failed. But a lot of people that voted no didn't even understand it. And I have learned to recognize these moments because I know y'all are going to call me later regretting the vote or regretting other people's vote when we actually could influence it, right? And this is one of those moments. I'm telling you, friends, this is one of those moments. I don't know. So, if Prop 50 doesn't pass, is it the end of the world? No. But what it would probably do is allow Republicans to continue to control all three branches of government for the foreseeable future. That's a possibility. It's not a for sure because Republicans still have to pass their funny style maps, their draw out the black people with the Sharpie maps. They still have to do that in all the states where they have the votes to do it. And it may or may not happen because they've got different rules and configurations they have to follow. But we know that Texas is going for it. And our 5 congressional seats would balance theirs. So that is an important thing. It won't end the world, but it would be bad if it lost. And I think we are seeing what it looks like when Republicans have control of all 3 branches of government. Executive, legislative, judicial, remember kids? Right now they have it all. They have the White House, they have Senate and House of Representatives, and the judicial for the long haul. The judicial till you're old, even if you're young right now. The judicial till I'm out of here. Okay? So, unless somehow Dems grow a pair and then we suddenly decide when we control the House and the Senate to increase the number of seats on the court. We can do that without an amendment. What we need to do is get a constitutional amendment and put term limits on that sucker. No one should be a Supreme Court justice for more than 12 years. That's enough. That's 3 presidential terms. You don't need to be there until you die. That's dumb. That was a really bad idea, just like the Electoral College. Bad ideas in an otherwise, promising system. So Prop 50 is important. It's coming up in like 2 weeks. And then after that, we've got the mayoral race and the governor race, the mayoral race for the city of LA, which I'm hearing now from a not-so-little bird that Rick Caruso's in. I thought he was running for governor. I thought we wouldn't have to deal with him locally here in LA, but it looks like he's set his sights. That vengeance thing. It appears to be a MAGA obsession at the moment. So it looks like he's coming for Mayor Bass's seat, as is Austin Butner. So you'll have a billionaire liberal and a billionaire who just stopped being a Republican an hour and a half ago. And then you'll have our sitting mayor. That's going to be quite a battle. And the governor's race got everybody and their mama running. So does the revelation that, as the LA Times said, Katie Porter is a mean boss, does that throw the whole thing into question? Because she was supposed to be the front runner, and it looks like not so much, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes people forget things real quick, but I just don't think so. Because as a woman, you don't get to act out like that. Number one. Number two, we really shouldn't be acting like that. Acting out like that anyway, as Ed Sanders pointed out, we should all strive not to be mean bosses. Mean bosses, mean mommies. What as the Dalai Lama says, be kind whenever it's possible. and it's always possible. Call me now if you want, 800-920-1580. If not, let's talk about it. We are unapologetically outspoken, unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
You ready?
You're invited to the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair on Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Catch at Audubon Middle School in Leimert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Join us for a day of health, healing, and community connection. There will be health screenings, immunizations, wellness information, a Catch Charter School recruitment fair, plus music and healthy snacks. And it's all free at the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair, Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Audubon Middle School in Leimert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Come out and bring the entire family. And if you have not yet checked out our KBLA Health and Wellness Hub, you should at KBLA1580.com. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks Catch Charter School, Prudential, Eastside, Cedar Sinai, and St. John's Community Health. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that a healthy community is a thriving community.
That's right, baby.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2025, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-260-3330. That's 800-260-3330. Find out if you qualify today, 800-260-3330, or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now, we're back to me. We're back to you. 800-920-1580 is the number to call. If you want to say a thing about a thing, and I'm laughing because there's just so much right now. It's really a reminder to stay prayed up, meditated up, inspired, and that's why I'm so glad we do have the Left Coast Forum going, because it feels like every day is another story meant to intimidate you, me, us, to cow us, and to silence us. But since it's my job to talk every day, I have to make peace with this early on. Like, okay, you saw the story about the TikToker who has now been taken into custody by ICE. What was he doing? He was tracking ICE and telling people where they were going to be and recording on it. And he was taken into custody yesterday. It just reminds you that's not a game. This, in case the wrecking ball at the White House wasn't enough of a symbol for you of what's happening right now in our country. It's not a game. And so it's important to stay cheerful, stay brave, stay encouraged, and stay in fellowship, which is what we will do on Saturday. And it is not too late to register. Go to KBLA1580.com and you can click on the link right there and register. It's free, but we do want you to register first. So the guy's name was Carlitos Ricardo Parias, and apparently he's been posting on TikTok for months. He's got hundreds of thousands of followers, and he was detained. Now, what they're saying is that he was here illegally, but I have learned not to believe the official story, so I'm going to need more information. They're also claiming he rammed ICE agents with his car. Believe it when I see it. I saw the lies they said about my own brother, Mayor Raz Baraka, out of the city of Newark, New Jersey, who was not doing any of those things, who's now suing the feds, and who Rachel Maddow reported on her show. She broke news with some body cam footage that showed, in fact, my brother was telling the truth and ICE was lying. It's the same thing we've learned through all of these police killings. You just don't believe the official story until they show you the receipts. Show me the video. Let's see. They're saying he had a history of driving without a license and resisting arrest. But this is coming from Homeland Security. The very same people who brought you videotapes blaming Democrats for the current government shutdown. Today's the day when SNAP is defunded, and so lots of folks may be going without food in the month of November, unless these folks can get it together. Let's go to Dee calling us from Oaktown, my roots over there. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dominique. How you doing, baby?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you?
You are blessed and highly favored. I'm doing well this morning. I don't know if you've heard about this internet thing. It's called Scoops. Have you ever heard of Scoops?
I don't think so.
So the reason I mention it, Scoops is kind of like a hood YouTube in a way, and I was going through it the other day. Take a listen to this, Dominique, and tell me if you remember this.
Can't Touch This by MCL.
Of course, it's all over the internet. Yeah, I remember it.
Funky.
So for those of y'all who don't know, that's Dominique interviewing Tupac on KRON, and he was talking about MC Hammer. What do you remember about all that, Dominique?
Oh, I remember a lot. I mean, I could write a whole book about it, and I might. But look, what's wild, this, for people who don't follow, I had a show called Home Turf. That was my first real broadcast job, which I started when I was in college at San Francisco State. And it was long, long ago, before, 106 and Park, before Yo MTV Raps, the Bay was on it. Yeah, there was, and that the show had been on for a while by the time that clip came out. I mean, we actually started that show in the 80s, believe it or not. Anyway, when I was like 2. But the point is that we had a lot of hip hop and hip hop culture when it wasn't a common thing on television, and mainstream media didn't get it at all. And it was just such a blessing to be there, be on that mic and talk to all the folks from, not just from the Bay, from all over. I mean, I had Cube on my show back then, and LL, and all kinds of people.
Yep, the other day they had you interviewing Forte.
Oh, that one's out there. See, because these are people must be pulling these off their old VHS tapes. That's the only thing I can think of.
So.
Yeah.
I think so. It looks like somebody got into the Cron archive, because there is a lot of Dominique and Home Turf out there.
Yeah, it's crazy because people never tag me. They don't show me any love. I had one girl's tell me, why should I tag you? All you're doing is holding the mic. You might as well be a mic stand.
My goodness, well, that's terrible.
Look, it's my show. Yeah.
To give you some love from the Bay.
Dee, let me ask you something before you get off. What do you remember about that?
I remember thinking, this guy Tupac, he's in a different place, because as you remember, You Can't Touch This was very hot, especially in Oakland and the Bay.
Yeah.
So it was very, it was a perspective that wasn't heard very often, but you could tell that was kind of a growing sentiment in a certain portion of the hip hop community.
Yeah. So is Scoops, is that on YouTube?
No, Scoops is it's like YouTube.
Oh, it's a separate app. Okay.
Correct. SCOOPZ, Scoops.
Okay, yeah. I'm not familiar, but I'll check it out. Thanks for putting us up on game. Yeah. Appreciate that.
All right, babe. Thank you for the time. You have a good day. It's going to get better. All we got to do is organize and get together.
Yeah, no, you're right, because the people are the solution. We're the only solution, by the way. And thank you for the Bay Area love. I appreciate it. That's one thing I know. This is true about hip hop, and it's definitely it's true about the Bay, and I think it's also true of LA, is that we don't forget. when it comes to hip hop has a long memory. I know some people, you don't know nothing about this, but the fact that kids in my son's generation are wearing Tupac shirts, it says a lot to me. The fact that hip hop cares about the history. At least it always has. I'm sure there are some people that don't. I've heard some people on the internets that don't. But for the most part, we do. And people in the Bay remember Bay Area stuff. People in LA remember LA stuff. The streets know. I always say it. The streets know. As people try to jack your swag or take your ideas, take credit for your work, they can get away with it on a top line level, but the streets always know. 800-920-1580, that's the number D from the Bay called. You can do the same. I'm Dominique DePrima. We've got news, traffic, and sports, then more, only right here.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump is again touting tariffs, saying they've made America wealthy and secure.
I'll tell you what, tariffs equal national security. Remember that.
At a Rose Garden lunch, he said he hopes to strike a fantastic trade deal with China when he meets with President Xi Jinping later this month in South Korea. Former NFL star Doug Martin died in Oakland police custody after a medical emergency. Now his family says he battled mental health issues and had fled his home disoriented. They had called authorities for help before the fatal encounter. Martin's parents were actively seeking medical assistance for him. And rapper Gucci Mane is opening up about his mental health, revealing he's been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. In a new memoir and interview with The Breakfast Club, he credits therapy, medication, and his wife, Keisha Kayor, for helping him manage his condition. Get BIN News now, on demand, 24/7, on the iHeartRadio app.
It's the World Series. These players live forever. Watch baseball at its finest. The World Series, presented by Capital One. Major League Baseball, trademarks, user permission.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
For some reason, the Clippers are not ready to start the season. Last night at Utah, they played like a team with 8 players on their roster over 30. The Clippers had 7 turnovers in the first quarter, gave up 78 points in the first half, trailed by 31 at halftime, and were down by 37 in the second half. The troubling numbers added up to a 129-108 loss in the Clippers season opener. It was the worst loss for the Clippers in a season opener in 17 years. They need a revival in a hurry before Friday's home opener against Phoenix. The Lakers are back in action Friday night. They're at home against Minnesota. The Dodgers flew to Toronto Wednesday to get ready for the World Series. Game 1 is Friday night at 5 p.m. local time. HBCU Southern University fired head football coach Terrence Graves. Southern is 1-6. Offensive coordinator Fred McNair will take over for the rest of the season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Donald Trump has all but declared war on California, sending in the National Guard, blocking disaster relief, and cutting funds to our colleges. And now, he and Texas Republicans are trying to rig the next election by stealing congressional seats from black voters in states like Texas.
They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides.
Seriously, look it up. But Prop 50 is how we fight back. It gives Californians the power to fight fire with fire and beat Trump at his own game. Prop 50 creates temporary emergency congressional maps that level the playing field and protect the power of black votes. Not just in California, but across the country. Your vote matters, and the whole country is counting on California to lead. So use your vote to protect our power, our history, and our future. Vote yes on Prop 50 by November 4th. Ad paid for by Yes on 50, the Election Rigging Response Act, Governor Newsom's Ballot Measure Committee, Ad Committee's top funders, HMP for Prop 50, and Fund for Policy Reform.
Life moves fast. That's why California makes voting easy. You don't have to wait until Election Day. Drop your ballot at a secure drop box, visit an early vote center, or mail it. Over 80% of Californians vote early, and you can too. Plus, when you sign up for Where's My Ballot, you'll get a text or email the moment your ballot is received and counted. Don't delay, vote today. Get more information at sos.ca.gov. A message from the California Secretary of State.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, my. Yes. Okay, so call me, 800-920-1580. That's the advice I have for you. I'm saying, oh, my, because I'm reading, and it just gets curiouser and curiouser reading about the homeless controversy in Santa Monica. We'll get to that. It's so interesting to me how the west side of LA, notably Santa Monica particularly, has managed to avoid having any homeless or low-income housing built or finished or opened up, even though they have such a huge number of unhoused people that live there. It's the hypocrisy just is stunning. More on that later, though. Let's go to Ira calling us from L.A. Good morning, Ira.
Yeah, Protect Black Women. I just wanted to congratulate you on a very deferential interview yesterday with the Cold Pink lady. And I didn't realize until later that her husband's in tech. I'm in a related industry, finance. And I realized, okay, he's a multi-billionaire, probably a pretty big donor to you guys. But you really came off well in it.
Okay, hold on one second. He's not going to stop talking, so you have to pause him for a second. I know Ira. He calls all the time. People get mad at me for going hard, but these people call. Anyway, your sneaky diss was received. I liked Jody Evans. I respect her work. She's got a long track record. So I see the sneaky diss, deferential, whatever. No, she's not a donor. We actually don't have donors. We're a business. We're not a nonprofit. We have investors. She's not an investor either, though. And then we have advertisers, but she's not one of those either. She's just a woman, an activist. The husband you're referring to is probably the one that passed away. I don't know that much about her personal life. It's the first time I've ever interviewed her. It's the second time I've met her. So just to interrupt your diss and misinformation, I love your grandiose ideas about how we have all these shadowy donors. I wish it was true. We would have a lot more resources if that was true. We just have advertisers and investors. Carry on, Ira.
Yeah, but here again, as you interrupted me, I understand.
No. Okay, pause him for again, because we're not going to play this little game, Ira. This is my radio show. So I'm not interrupting you. I'm allowing you to speak, and then I interject when you say things that aren't true. That's not me interrupting. This is me allowing you to speak, even though you've come on this radio show many times, insulting me personally. It's so funny that you always say, protect black women, and then you proceed to disrespect me and every other black woman that is within the range of your voice. Go ahead.
The straight black male hate has to stop, Dominique, really. I mean, we're here for black women.
Where is that hate coming from? Where is the straight male black hate coming from? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Everything with you guys, you progressives, is always LGBT. If he's black, he's got to be gay or something weird. We are here to protect black women. That's our only job. That's what we want to do.
No, I don't respect it because you say that and then you call in here and you disrespect black women all day. I don't. Are you threatened by black gay men? Because just because we celebrate their rights or give gay, LGBTQ plus, lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual people space doesn't mean we're encroaching on your space. I mean, in the course of my lifetime, I've dated almost exclusively straight black men. If they were gay, I sure didn't know it.
Well, no, and all we're saying is this: is that our goal here?
Who's we?
What we do is black, straight black men.
Oh, so you've made yourself the spokesman for. Okay, got it. For straight black men, got it. Go ahead.
I'm the unofficial spokesperson. I haven't been elected as such, but that's what I am because we all do the same.
Are you married,
all of us
Ira?
do the same thing. I am.
Okay, good. And you guys have kids?
I do.
Okay.
I'm not married currently to a black woman. My first marriage was to a black woman. I'm no longer married to a black woman.
Okay, you're married to
a white lady.
Okay, got it.
I have children. I have women. Girls who are black women.
Right,
So
right. That's how that works. Yeah, you're a black person and another person have a baby. They get in a black baby most of the time. Yeah.
That's right. So that's where my main concern comes from. I see their future. I know things are very dim. I look at this mayoral election coming up. Karen is done. She's toast. They want
you
her
mean
out of
Mayor Bass?
Project 25.
See, this is perfect.
That's right.
You say you say that your job is to protect black women, but you won't even give our mayor the respect of her honorific, which she earned. It was hard fought too.
She won't respect us. She gives reparations to illegals. It does nothing for the black
She's
community.
not. That's another lie. Okay, Ira, why don't you go ahead and land for me? I've had my my quota of untruths on my own radio show this morning. So why don't you go ahead and land for me?
The key to me is the truth and nothing but. That's all I bring you. There's no disrespect intended, none meant. I'm just here to protect black women.
Okay,
Carry on.
thank you. And if that's how you protect us, I'll take my protection from the Klan. Thank you very much. Let's go to Paul calling us from L.A. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you doing today?
I'm blessed. How are you?
No, don't do it. I'm not going to even touch that one this time. Because last time I went overboard with it. I'm going to let that be. I'm going to let that
hey,
be.
Paul,
No.
protect black women.
Yes, Queen. And, as soon as just to let y'all know, when y'all hear that, just know it's coming. Yeah, I like how you dug into it to like put it out there what that really was. That's hate towards black women. But I want to hop on the call and discuss basically everything that's really going on. That's being detrimental to our community. The idea that literally they can use a term DEI and people fall for it. That was always from these Nazis. I'm gonna call them what they are, Nazis. Pay attention to what they're doing, right? Like these Nazis basically attacking black women, which was the group that was became the most educated group in the country, black women. This was their way of using a term to divide people because if you go back to the Obama presidency, one thing people forgot, Obama won his presidency with minority of the white vote. See, a lot of people don't know that, which means that elections are what, Dominique? They're based on turnout. People of color turned out. So what they do is they essentially just focus on restricting the voting base of people because they know what they run on is not popular. See, we are in a class war of people, and all they use is culture wars to divide people. For those that don't understand it or sat out the election, the 90 million people that sat out the election, your kitchen table issues, your life, those jobs, the economy and everything, that directly impacts you. Education, that impacts our children, our futures and everything. And I think that we have a big issue with not only the misinformation and disinformation going on, but a lot of contrarians. The way Stephen A. Smith disrespected Jasmine, the way Crockett like that, was the most disrespectful thing in the world because we understand that man is tap dancing for massa. See, Malcolm X warned us. The most dangerous person is the house Negro, right? And what he does is the reason that they pay Stephen A. Smith all that money, everybody, is because they want to get your mind off of things that really matter. Because all he has to say is MJ, Kobe, or LeBron, and y'all stop paying attention to the things that are most impactful to yourself, your family, and the black community.
Yeah. Well, you said a lot right there, Paul, but I know it's just scratching the surface because this man right here reads. He's sending me articles in the DMs. And that's really what would make such a difference, even for someone like Ira, just a little bit more reading.
Yeah. Like I'll say it to you like this. Everyone, see, Fred Hampton had it. The Rainbow Coalition had it. They were able to get across the aisle to those poor white people. Martin Luther King had it, right? Your issues are our issues. What they're using in culture wars is all they're doing is blaming other people from taking from you. But in reality, all elections are. Take everything else out of it. It's how tax dollars are being allocated. That you talked about the 3/5 compromise yesterday. A lot of people say we were only 3/5 of a person. No, what they were talking about is basically taxation and representation. See, how you want your tax dollars allocated? Do you want your tax dollars going towards Kristi Noem getting jets, or Donald Trump tearing down the White House, or the Trump family making money? That's on your dimes. Or going to Argentina? That's on our dimes, and not going towards our children's education. I implore people to just pay attention. They use culture wars to divide, to get you not to vote, so they can run away with the bag and have power and control.
Yeah. Well, and so the challenge for us as humans, and for certainly those of us who have the mic, who are in entertainment and or news and that crossover area where a lot of us live, is to address those culture wars in a way that centers what's really going on and not just get caught up in a he said, she said, or a back and forth, because it's true. I mean, it's not that it's fun to talk about Stephen A. Smith, or it's fun to talk about Kim Kardashian or whatever. But when it separates us from the reality of what's going on, our descent into authoritarianism, then it's a distraction that's not helpful. And I think you can have your Real Housewives of, Ladera Heights and still track what's going on in Ukraine, or how Trump is trying to start a war with Venezuela before our very eyes. The guy who said he was going to be a peace president is already, trying to start a totally unprovoked, unnecessary war to go get some oil.
But why is he doing that? See, you're nailing it. Why is he doing it? See, Donald Trump is a distraction. It's the people behind him. See, if people really care, you boycott with your dollar. You don't support the businesses. These people don't know anything else but green. The reason that they're basically in Venezuela right now is because of the oil. The reason when Bush was in office that we rushed to another war that later was an issue was because of oil. These people only know one thing: colonization and taking over somewhere else and their resources. And I implore people to really, if you ever want to know the answer to things, pay attention to who the lobbyists and the donors are, because in reality, those are the people that are controlling our government. It's on the voters. If the voters have issues with what's going on and how your tax dollars are allocated, the reason you don't have health care, just know Argentina, the $40 billion they're trying to send over to Argentina, they have free health care. Do you know all the money we're sending to Israel? Whether you know it's not, they have free health care. But you know what we don't have out here? Health care.
Yeah. Well, and right about starting today, a lot of folks won't even have food. So we're talking about, and then the president says, well, he won't meet with Democrats about the shutdown until the government is open, which means you're not going to meet with us about the shutdown, because why would we meet with you about something that's already resolved? If the government's reopened, that means the problem is fixed, or at least temporarily band-aided up. Why would Dems meet with you about the shutdown when the shutdown is over? It's basically an arm twist. And say it loud for the people that think it's more true if it's louder, because he's counting on people not reading, not getting it, not understanding how this works, not understanding that if you control the executive branch, which is the White House, the presidency, the legislative branch, which is Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives, and the judicial, the Supreme Court, and really a lot of the lower courts too, then you are to blame. You take responsibility for what the heck is happening. You control everything, but you still want to blame Democrats. And to me, it's beyond partisan politics when kids start going hungry. And that's where we are right now. That's where we are in America right now, starving kids so that you can put your agenda in play, so that you can give tax breaks to the rich, so that you can blame Democrats for something that is clearly your responsibility, and you're fine starving kids to do that. Yeah, you're right, Mr. President. You're not getting into the pearly gates. Paul, thank you for your call, as always, bringing up some important points.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Everybody have a good day.
Yes, indeed. Paul called me at 800-920-1580. I encourage you to do the same. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Open enrollment is your opportunity to choose a plan that connects you to Providence's comprehensive healthcare network. Choose a plan that includes Providence and gain access to a dedicated team of highly trained primary care physicians and specialists. From nationally recognized doctors and hospitals, Providence ensures quality care is always within reach. When you choose Providence, you choose after-hours care through our nurse advice line, urgent care, or virtual express care. You choose 24/7 access through the Providence mobile app to message providers, request prescription refills, schedule appointments, check lab results, and more. This open enrollment, prioritize your well-being with the peace of mind that comes from choosing a provider that values excellence and compassionate care. Don't just choose a plan. Choose a plan dedicated to health equity and community engagement. Choose a plan that believes health is a human right. Choose a plan that delivers exceptional care and cares about your community. Choose a plan that offers Providence. Visit chooseprovidence.org to learn more.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Donald Trump has all but declared war on California, sending in a National Guard, blocking disaster relief, and cutting funds to our colleges. And now, he and Texas Republicans are trying to rig the next election by stealing congressional seats from black voters in states like Texas.
They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides.
Seriously, look it up. But Prop 50 is how we fight back. It gives Californians the power to fight fire with fire and beat Trump at his own game. Prop 50 creates temporary emergency congressional maps that level the playing field and protect the power of black votes. Not just in California, but across the country. Your vote matters, and the whole country is counting on California to lead. So use your vote to protect our power, our history, and our future. Vote yes on Prop 50 by November 4th. Ad paid for by Yes on 50, the Election Rigging Response Act, Governor Newsom's Ballot Measure Committee, Ad Committee's top funders, HMP for Prop 50, and Fund for Policy Reform.
Life moves fast. That's why California makes voting easy. You don't have to wait until Election Day. Drop your ballot at a secure drop box, visit an early vote center, or mail it. Over 80% of Californians vote early, and you can too. Plus, when you sign up for Where's My Ballot, you'll get a text or email the moment your ballot is received and counted. Don't delay, vote today. Get more information at sos.ca.gov. A message from the California Secretary of State.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-515-4493, 800-515-4493, 800-515-4493.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
It does, and we're glad you're here. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Keeping it moving on these phones because the hour is wide open, and I just love talking with you. It's one of my favorite things about this JOB. And, of course, we've got Sherry Bell coming up next hour, coming in on a Think Tank Thursday instead of Friday. And we get to learn about the climate emergency and our natural human habitat with Crystal Hickman, National Geographic community scientist and stellar black woman joining me in studio. So we are having a great day along with an amazing week. Let's go to Jeanette calling us from Inglewood. Good morning, Jeanette.
Good morning, Dominique. Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm so glad that I'm calling after Paul because the IRA, my spirit was just in uproar. But real quickly, I want to answer your question. What will my project 2026 or 2028 be? I would like to name all the billionaire oligarchs that's not from America who are running America and just destroying it, in my opinion. And then I don't know if this I don't understand how this happened where you have, you can be able to do large donations. I would like to stop all these large donations so they can stop trying to buy the elections. And then finally, I would like to have a monthly stipend when the robots start taking your job. So that's all I wanted to. Oh, and free health care, of course.
Yeah, and universal health care like they have in Germany, like they have in Israel, like they have in Canada, like they have in many developed nations, which we say we can't afford. Isn't that mysterious? Canada can afford it, but we can't. Israel can afford it, but we can't. Germany can afford it, but we can't. But we're one of the richest countries in the world. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense, Jeanette. Yeah, you said a lot of important, great stuff. It is true that many of those supposed America First oligarchs are not from here. Let's start with Elon Musk, the South African billionaire, who is the one that whispered in Trump's ear that we need to let those apartheid white people in here as refugees because they're being discriminated against, and when in fact they own almost all the land and almost all of the profitable businesses. And I've been there. I've been to South Africa, I would imagine, more recently than Mr. Musk has, although I'm not sure. Telling he may be having secret meetings and flying in on private jets, so not sure about that. But I know I've been there and I've seen it with my own eyes. And there's a reason why only 50 or so white people from South Africa took him up on that offer. There was no exodus because they know they've got it good. That's just one example. America First is turned out to be another one of his lies. Yeah. I love that idea of pointing that out. I love the, healthcare for all. We'll get there. And as far as large donations go, now you're talking about these political action committees, which allow people to donate not directly to the candidate. So you can put in as many millions as you want. And then there are the slush funds, i.e. the inaugural fund, which is not seen as a campaign donation. So people can just put in endless money and there's very little oversight, which is, a cesspool. It has the potential to be a cesspool of influence peddling. And the presidential libraries are another. You're right. We need to crack down on these things. The dark money, a lot of it goes to the PACs, but now you see what's happening with the tech giants, each one anteing up $1 million or more to be part of the inaugural fund, which means going into Trump's pocket, or CBS giving money to the presidential library for a guy who doesn't even read and may never, ever, ever actually have a library. It's a library or a wax museum. Thank you, Jeanette. I always love talking with you. And keep the calls coming. Sherry Bell joins me next hour. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump is again touting tariffs, saying they've made America wealthy and secure.
I'll tell you what, tariffs equal national security. Remember that.
At a Rose Garden lunch, he said he hopes to strike a fantastic trade deal with China when he meets with President Xi Jinping later this month in South Korea. Former NFL star Doug Martin died in Oakland police custody after a medical emergency. Now his family says he battled mental health issues and had fled his home disoriented. They had called authorities for help before the fatal encounter. Martin's parents were actively seeking medical assistance for him. And rapper Gucci Mane is opening up about his mental health, revealing he's been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. In a new memoir and interview with The Breakfast Club, he credits therapy, medication, and his wife, Keisha Kayor, for helping him manage his condition. Get BIN News now, on demand, 24/7, on the iHeartRadio app.
It's the World Series. These players live forever. Watch baseball at its finest. The World Series, presented by Capital One. Major League Baseball, trademarks and inclusion.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
For some reason, the Clippers are not ready to start the season. Last night at Utah, they played like a team with 8 players on their roster over 30. The Clippers had 7 turnovers in the first quarter, gave up 78 points in the first half, trailed by 31 at halftime, and were down by 37 in the second half. The troubling numbers added up to a 129-108 loss in the Clippers season opener. It was the worst loss for the Clippers in a season opener in 17 years. They need a revival in a hurry before Friday's home opener against Phoenix. The Lakers are back in action Friday night. They're at home against Minnesota. The Dodgers flew to Toronto Wednesday to get ready for the World Series. Game 1 is Friday night at 5 p.m. local time. HBCU Southern University fired head football coach Terrence Graves. Southern is 1-6. Offensive coordinator Fred McNair will take over for the rest of the season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports